Inner Quest explores various pathways through which you can connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe and apply it to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to Inner Quest. My name is Jay Stone, your host for today, and our guest is Valentina Norcross. Welcome, Valentina.
Hello, thank you.
And also to Valentina's right is Jennifer Klein, one of our volunteers extraordinaire who's been behind the camera for about 4 or 5 years. Jennifer's going to give us a talk about a testimony about Valentina's work. Valentina Norcross is an expert in detoxification, healing, and the immune system. Today, Valentina will discuss how you can make your lymphatic system healthier. First question I have to ask is, what is the lymphatic system?
The lymphatic system specifically is your immune system. Now, what is the immune system? You know, we've all heard that, but immunity starts with the ability for your cells to actually give life to your body, circulate, die, and go away. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole cycle of regeneration.
And I've heard it said that cycles, the lifespan of a cell is about 7 years. Is that correct, or does it vary?
There's more variation to that. Mm-hmm. Your cells can actually regenerate after 120 days.
Mm-hmm. So the cells that are dying today in my body were born 120 days ago, and then new cells born in my body will die 120 days from now?
Mm-hmm. If your immune system, if your whole lymphatic system is that optimal and doing that process, yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, they might be stagnant and sitting in other places and finding connections with other cells.
What would be stagnant?
Stagnant would be the cycle of eating the cell, the mutant cell, not going away. That would be apoptosis. Mm-hmm. This would be anything that is not going through eating itself and going away. Mm-hmm. So that's foreign proteins in the body. Okay.
And so would, you know, you're an expert, well, you talk about diet. So does our diet affect our cells and their life cycle?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I have many clients who go to more specific diets, more vegetarian diets, more live enzymatic diets. Mm-hmm. I have clients who follow more paleo type of diets. I see certain people seem to get faster results than others. So yes, I do think diet is a great factor.
Excellent. So what is lymphatic enhancement therapy, and how can that help a person?
Well, it can enhance how quickly our cells regenerate, mm-hmm. just like exercise can enhance how quickly we help our body through processes, through healing, through oxygenation.
Like physical therapy, let's say somebody injured a knee or back, they go to physical therapy, it makes the recovery quicker.
That's correct, because physical therapy is using some type of exercise, and any type, there's 3 things that move the lymphatic system, and that would be vigorous exercise, mm-hmm. any kind of pressure, which can be found, so breathing, anytime we're oxygenating or moving or pumping, there's breath going through that. Mm-hmm. And the third one we know as the type of work I do, lymphatic enhancement therapy, which is sound waves and light vibration.
And we're going to get to that. You have this machine here, and we'll show the audience. But I'd like to ask Jen. Jen is the proud mother of, how old is your son now?
3 months.
3 months, okay. And before the show that you did lymphatic therapy with Valentina, mm-hmm. both before and after your pregnancy. Mm-hmm. So how did you get led to Valentina and lymphatic treatment?
Purely by coincidence, she started working where I work, and I was introduced to her by my boss, and I was curious about what she did, and I asked her if she could do some work on me because I was pregnant and I had a lot of hip pain and back pain from my pregnancy, and so she said she could do some work on me and see if she could help heal that. And I really didn't know much about it, but I got down on the table, and sure enough, I felt better right away. It was amazing the difference that it made. I wake up in the middle of the night and in pain on my hips, and after her treatments, I felt so much better. I could sleep better through the night. It was amazing. The first treatment I had, she said to me, "Okay, get up off the table. I want you to go look at your face in the mirror." I thought that my face was swelling from being pregnant and gaining weight, and it was from having my lymph clogged, and I looked in the mirror and I looked like a different person. I looked like I had lost 5 pounds. And it was
how
amazing.
long did that treatment take?
Half an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah.
Now, you were working on a pregnant Jen then. Do you have specific training to work with pregnant women? Obviously, it's safe.
It is safe. It has been researched heavily, although, like every medical person out there, we're going to send out a contraindication that says, you know, look at this situation, look at this situation, look at this situation. Always make sure, you know, always report back to your doctor. The personal contact and experience that I have is I have a very strong colleague in New Zealand who's working with Flinders University in Australia. She was awarded this year a research grant, and she actually has 4 children, and she said all the way through her last pregnancy with her latest, he is the strongest and the healthiest, and it was the easiest. And so before I started working with any pregnant individuals, I contacted my strongest authorities in making sure that I knew all of my ins and outs.
Now, Jen, talk about your treatment with Valentina after you gave birth.
Unfortunately, I had to have a C-section, so I had some scarring, and she's been doing work on my scarring, and that has helped the pain that I have in that area also. And, you know, just from carrying the baby, I have back pain. So she's helped with that back pain also. And it's interesting that, you know, being a mom, I have the baby with me all the time, so I have to bring him with me to the treatments. And it relaxes him incredibly just to be in the room with him. You know, if he gets fussy, I can hold him. It's safe for me to hold him while I'm getting treated. And, you know, it makes him have a better disposition also.
Well, I'm sure the energy that your experience is calmer, more peaceful, healthier, and your son senses that.
For sure.
So now, is that common that lymphatic treatment helps muscular and skeletal problems?
Yes. More and more of the deeper research that I continue to read and find out, there is some science that shows out there that every organ, every part of the body is covered with almost like a mesh-like net. And looking forward into it and saying, okay, well, this is more lymphatic work, and how does this interact with emotions and everything else? So every muscle, every organ's muscle is covered by this communication, this lymphatic system, beyond just the traditional lymphatic vessels and nodes that are known in the body.
Okay. Jen, I want to thank you for staying and, you know, sharing your experience with us. I know you had to get home to your son, so if you need to go, please please go, and my best to you, and I look forward to seeing you next month.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome.
See you soon.
So Valentina, how long have you been doing this work?
I don't have a specific timeline, but I'm going to say it's about 15 years. I'm working currently with equipment called the LymphStar Pro Fusion. I've been working with this equipment for about 3 years. And
how is this equipment today different than when you started about 15 years ago?
I know much more. I thoroughly knew the people, got involved with their trainings, everything that they have to offer with what they're doing. Behind the product is called Archistar. And I know their research, I know their history. So I read all their science, their research, all the doctors they worked with in going forward with their product, and I understand it a lot better. 15 years ago when I started, I was doing lymphatic work, and I also understood manual lymphatic drainage, which is just primarily working with the hands and palpitating.
Did you come from a background in like massage therapy or anything?
Many years ago, there wasn't a licensing structure, but I was doing massage work. I did Thai massage work. I was a yoga instructor, and I still am. I'm just not teaching at this time. I'm also a colon therapist. So working, and my first and foremost start was Reiki, which is the traditional laying on of hands. So all of that was my background before going a little further.
And do you find that you use your intuition and your instincts to help people?
Yes. Yes. I think everybody uses their intuition. They just don't know that they're using their intuition.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. And so why is the lymphatic work that you do so important?
Currently, the biggest issue that my friends, colleagues we're all looking at right now is incisions. We're looking at how the immune system continue to operate without being wounds or cuts. And we're looking primarily at breast care, elective augmentation. We're looking at surgeries, C-sections, and things like that. That's where I'm focusing with a lot of my attention right now.
Yeah, and is this work that you do preventative, like preventative medicine?
It's both, restorative and preventative.
Okay. Let's see now. Do you want to take a look at your machine? Do I need to put it, to hold it? Would you like me to hold it so the audience could see, or will this be enough?
Basically, most of what they see, we probably don't have to lift it up, because mostly what's important is once I turn it on, it's really the attachments that go on their body. It's the circuit board and everything is underneath anyway. They're not going to see it. So
okay.
When I'm doing this therapy, I'm just strictly using heads on their bodies, which makes it very massage-like. They're on a table and relaxing. So when I turn it on, generally when we get started, I'm working usually with two different. So I'm working specifically doing lymphatic drainage with ultraviolet light. So what we know about lymphatic fluid is that it's magnetic. So taking this,
yeah, and
slight oscillating pulsing sound is made once it's connected.
you brought a book by a physician by the name of Robert Becker, and he did the groundbreaking research on electromagnetic pollution and healing.
He did. He followed on some other groundbreakers, and those groundbreakers followed on other groundbreakers. He's really been going on this research very heavily. This was primary medicine in the 1800s, so they've been going all through the 1900s.
I would agree. I would agree with that. Even if you look back, like animal magnetism, mesmerism.
Squids.
Yeah.
And eels and all of that.
Well, I was thinking about Becker and how he would put electrodes into people's broken bones that they were going to amputate, and the bones would regenerate.
Absolutely, and with most of my reading and research, I've gone as deep as I can go. It shows me that the quickest thing to heal is bone. But they've measured it all out. But then lights and the measurement of these sound waves. So I'm working with ultraviolet light, I'm working with LEDs, red, blue, near infrared, all of this, the spectrum all the way through. So these are all measured in different nanometers.
And where would, oh, not touch it, I'm sorry.
That's okay, we'll turn this one off because you have an electrostatic field, I have an electrostatic field, and these have another one of their own. So.
Okay, so let me.
You can touch me now.
Okay, what would you do? Would you hold this over a person's...
I place it on the body, so wherever...
Let's say you'd place it like on my hand?
I could,
Yeah.
if that was where I thought was going to be the most benefit. Generally, when I'm doing a traditional just lymphatic drainage, I place this on the belly, which is the bottom of the lymphatic trunk called the cisterna chyli. This is generally, it's being researched so much as a lot of correlation between breast cancers, and now breast cancer with men is just shortly behind women now. So relaxing the gut and relaxing everything that's going on in this area.
Did I understand you correctly that the incidence of breast cancer in men is catching up to women?
Yes.
I knew men get breast cancer. I had no idea it was reaching such a fast rate. Do you have any clue as to why? Well, I can only guess what you're going to say.
My work and the other people who I work closely with, we all understand energy. Energy can come in the form of a thought. It can come in movement. However that comes, I think feeling. A lot of it is feeling, thought, emotional stress. I think a lot of that is I think we're all being sped up a lot in life.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are being forced to move way beyond their capacity, and we just suck it up and keep going. But
well, you think it's because the breasts are near the heart chakra? Love?
I think that's a big factor of it, but
Yeah.
I take many factors in. So I work on as many levels as I can. And that's what I like about working with cellular levels, is that I feel, with all the research that I've read, that I'm actually getting into whatever's in that cell, whether it's trauma, abuse, pain, emotion, whatever we're holding on to. I feel like restoration, because we're working with so many frequencies, and the theory is your cells take whatever they need and will find their own restoration.
Now, okay, so you place that on a person's stomach. Does that remain there for the whole 30 minutes?
I move it around.
Okay.
When I have specific areas to work on. I've got neck pain or ankles or knees or backs. I've got wounds to heal. Do you want to hold on to this? I mean, we can place this somewhere in your body for the duration of this, and then you can tell me by the end, you know, if you're feeling anything different. It doesn't really matter where you place it. It's going to do the best, most effect when it's in that area that needs it. But your hands have so many nerves. So whether you're doing it reflexology, feet up or hands up.
Uh-huh. Now, would you use this on yourself? Do you use this on yourself?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So you don't need another practitioner to do this on you?
No, you don't need, but it sure is nice. If I knew somebody who was doing the level of work, working with this particular equipment, I would be surely getting a trade, because the more relaxed you are, the more you trust somebody when you're in that environment. These theta levels, as they're called, when you start to zone out and get into those levels, that's really what is shown with all kinds of screenings, ectodermal screening and such, of the results of who heals the quickest.
Okay. The theta levels, you're talking about the brain waves, the theta
Yes,
waves?
waves.
Okay.
So this traditionally is sound waves, and they're all measured to radio waves.
Mm-hmm. So this is a sound wave going through my hand, or is this...
There's actually 4 different frequencies going through that,
Is it audible to the human ear?
No, but it is audible to the cells.
Ah,
like a dog whistle, right?
Yeah. Okay, and then the other 2 things that you were holding, what do those 2 things do?
With these, I'm actually gliding these are photon tubes. So there's noble gases inside here with inside this Pyrex glass. So I'm actually taking these and just gliding them along the body. I use one in one specific area, and then I'm guiding the fluid through the body into areas called watersheds. Mm-hmm. So I'm enhancing the one-way movement of the lymphatic system.
Now, is there specific, how many watersheds are there in the body, or is it different from person to person? Is a watershed a good thing?
The watershed is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
can differ from person to person because of surgeries and such of places being removed in the body because they correlate with areas of primary lymphatic nodes. But it's just moving directions, really understanding that the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. The circulatory system has a heart, and that is our pump. The lymphatic system, without exercise, deep breathing, which often with deep breathing it's a little bit misunderstood as to how many muscles we actually use. I actually have a diagram that shows the front and the back of the body, and it talks about how many muscles really should be engaged with breath in order to actually move lymphatic fluid through the body.
I actually read once where researchers put a camera inside the body and they discovered that the best way to move fluid through the lymph system was breathing.
It is. It's the most simple.
Yeah.
It's the most basic.
And healthiest.
And that's why...
I mean, and all the cells need the oxygen and they need to get rid of the waste products.
And that's absolutely true. And what's really great about working with bioelectric equipment these days and coming forward with it is that there is research that shows that all of the work done with the LymphStar Pro, that there is oxygen uptake. The whole theory behind electricity and working with this is that we can transfer the electricity into the body through LEDs, through all these photoharmonics, and that the body receives it and turns it into ATP, and that whole cellular cycle can actually be circulated through electricity equipment.
I think my right hand is warmer than my left. So, which means I'm working off my left brain. So let's just switch it to the other side.
But
I don't know if you want to feel.
Yes, and you are also working with near infrared light. So there's some near infrared red on there. Yeah, I can feel the difference. Yes. But
Cool.
the heat is also known to calm.
Yeah.
So it's a very relaxing therapy.
Yeah, I remember hearing Dr. Daniel Amen, the neuropsychiatrist, say how he can teach children to raise their skin temperature like 15 degrees in their hands. Yeah.
The body is capable of anything. I just do enhancement therapy to enhance people to go back in that direction.
Now, you're teaching a class at Infinity Foundation. What are you going to teach?
I consider basics. So we're going to look at a little bit at lifestyle nutrition, exercise in simplistic forms. Mostly, I do have this belief in theory that what we put in nutritionally wise inside our body is much more important than exercise. I'm going to teach traditional skin techniques of how to move your own lymphatic fluid.
Is there anything that you can show our audience now?
Skin brushing, and I didn't bring a skin brush with me, but there are specific dry brushes that you would place dry on your skin.
So not any old
promoting circulation.
And not any old brush will do. It has to be a skin.
Any old brush probably could do, but it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So if you get a dry vegetable cellulose brush, any apothecary anywhere. Loofahs can work. Anything that has enough of a rough surface to create circulation.
And I also heard it helps to remove the dead skin.
Yes. So yes, doing topically dead skin as well as the dead cells inside is what really the circulation is for. Your lymphatic vessels are just underneath your skin level. So it would make sense that all your toxins would end up coming through your skin because your skin is a source, one of 4 places of your most elimination.
And where would those other places, well, 2 of them would be pretty obvious, the sources of elimination.
Okay, so so it's your skin,
your
bowels,
your
kidney, and your lungs.
So when we exhale, that would be a source of elimination.
Your lungs are lined with lymphatic fluid. Yes.
Good. And so your class at Infinity is 3 hours?
It's 2 hours. It goes from 7 to 9 on January 18th.
Now, do you teach your clients self-care when they come in for treatment, like so they can go home?
Yes.
And similar to what you're going to be teaching in the class?
I'm going to expound, this class is going to be a little different. Some of my clients are actually going to come to the class because I'm going to go beyond what I generally am showing them.
Well, I hope for the new students you take this machine because it's pretty interesting, and I'm getting a good vibe from it.
My equipment will be included in my class. I also do an ionic foot bath. It's a Cygnus Aqua Cleanse. So far, it seems like it's the only one of its kind, and it does very similar work where oxygen taking up through the feet. And this one is, the one I have is also portable, and it can be done in a bathtub, which I know of no other equipment like this that does the ionic exchange. So I'll be bringing that and showing that to the class as well, so that people can begin to understand heavy metal toxins, where these things lie, what is the lymphatic system really transporting.
And so does the lymph system, is that important as far as eliminating the heavy metals and the toxins?
Yes, because anything as a foreign protein, so anything that has a life about it is considered basically a protein. So that can be undigested matter, it can be parasites, it can be viruses. The immune system, the lymphatic system is responsible for almost everything. And it's about 10 times more faster, and the tubes, the vessels are actually shown to be thicker and wider than the traditional venous circulatory system. So it's being researched more and more that it's more responsible for the circulation in the body.
Well, it seems that the cancer rates are increasing. Of course, the people say, oh, but people are living longer. That's why they're living long enough to get the cancer. So, but, and then you hear about lymphoma, which is a cancer of the lymph system. All right.
There's a lot of different ones out there. What I primarily understand about cancer is that it's a low vibrating cell mutation. So when we continue to raise our vibration, whether it's through live enzymatic food, through happier thoughts, any kind of healing, working with this equipment, anything that's going to raise the parasympathetic nervous system is going to create a higher vibration, and I think that helps with the healing and rising above things that vibrate low in the body.
Yeah, have you worked with cancer patients before?
I work with plenty of cancer patients. I work with a lot of unusual
chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia,
Lyme's disease, all of that. Yep, and a lot of breast cancer right now. And I'm working with a lot of elective augmentation in making sure that the scar tissue heals underneath there, and that people go forward and heal.
In elective augmentation, I'm sure you mean breast enhancement?
Yeah, because the incisions are going in these axillary areas, and this is a very, very primary area of where drainage is happening for the body.
And are you affiliated with any clinics, like chiropractic clinics or anything like that?
No, I'm not affiliated. I do some work back and forth, and we all recommend each other's work. My work, as I'm starting to see, is just is unique. So yes, I have lots of, I got my start in Chicago about 20 years ago, so I have lots of people who understand my work, and if they think they can't possibly help somebody, yes, I get a lot of referrals.
All right, good job, Valentina. I'm sorry, but we're out of time. So for more information about Valentina Norcross, her Infinity Foundation class, or just the Infinity Foundation organization, stay tuned to the credits at the end. Until next time, we wish you good health, good spirits, and good fortune. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jay.
For more information about this show, our guests, Infinity Foundation, or any of our other programs, please visit our website, infinityfoundation.org, or call us at 847-831-8828.